Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Ted.
Good evening.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
So, hope everybody's doing well today. We got a lot of movies I'm really curious to talk about tonight. They're all a little different. Some not what we necessarily were expecting to, which is always nice. So, but before we
there's one I'm really curious about with Dan.
Me too.
Okay. I have no idea which one that is. So I am
could be actually any number of them tonight.
Yeah. I don't know where everybody will fall on these films tonight. So I'm curious. We know Kruger's favorite for sure. Ape versus Mecha Ape, but we're not going to spoil that yet.
Yeah, come on, no spoilers.
No spoilers yet. But yeah, how's everybody doing in the chat? Shout out Dirty Bastard, best name in the chat. What up, Ben Grimm, Indie Phantom, Big T, and I feel like I probably missed some other people earlier. Punisher Batman fan, what's up? Yeah. So I'm curious to get everybody's thoughts on these films in the chat as well. But before we do, Kruger, there's a job opening, I understand, because
I think it might be sad today.
Yeah, I'm too fat for that shit. Come on now.
He said he's too fat for that shit now.
Yeah.
Why can't we have a bigger Freddy Krueger? Why?
Dude, I'm like fucking 6 foot on a good day. I'm not that big. I'm just wide.
You're bulky. You're intimidating. Come on. There you go.
Here's an ingenious idea. Or why don't we just make our own slasher with Krueger and it'll be fucking better?
Yeah, I could just do my gimmick. That would, we can make the what the fuck was that movie? Skull the Mask. We can make the American remake.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go.
But you should probably fill in what we're talking about, Dan.
Well, yes, Mr. Robert Englund is officially retired.
He's been so officially retired so many goddamn times. So
I think his reasoning this time, I kind of believe him.
Oh no, for sure. Like you can't be doing
retired from Freddy, not acting.
Yeah, retired from Freddy, and
he said playing Freddy, man. What about voicing Freddy? I mean, come on.
Well, dude, I still want that fucking animated prequel that just goes hard as fuck. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, I get it though. Like the dude's fucking almost got, what is he? Fucking mid-70s, almost, or
late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s. I mean, you're not going to be able to do all those stunts and stuff. But at the same time,
75.
There's 75. Well, there's a way to work around it though. I mean, there's 100% a way to work around it. You just get a good stunt guy and fucking do right angles. And I mean, we could still make it happen. But if
the workaround is here's this bag of money.
Yeah, right.
That was my answer last time. He said he was too old.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Well, yeah, they did get him back for the Goldbergs, which Ben Grimm brought up. That was his last thing was in a sitcom Sad. I get why that was after he said he was retired. Because there's a difference playing Freddy for a couple days on a sitcom than doing a month's worth of makeup, which I think we talked about on the Freddy show too.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen, go check out our review of the Robert Englund documentary.
Yep. Early review.
And yeah, this broke after we recorded. So
yeah.
I'm seeing in the chat people talking about deep faking and just doing the voice. I think if you get a new actor, you need a fresh start. I know people don't want to hear that, but hopefully better.
Who's the guy that plays Vecna from Stranger Things?
I can't recall his name.
Him, like
a little young, but I guess he's no younger than Englund probably.
But with all the makeup and stuff, and then you could do the flashback scenes with him. They have a similar looking face. I think he's my go-to. Yeah, I mean everybody, even Robert is saying Kevin Bacon, but. Kevin Bacon's a little old, I think, to kick off if we want a couple of more Freddy films, if we want to turn this into a trilogy, because that's apparently the new slasher thing is turn every goddamn new direct sequel to the first film into a trilogy. So I'm gonna go with Vecna from Stranger Things. I think that guy would kill it. Because he's basically playing Freddy Krueger in fucking Stranger Things, just with different powers. I mean, it's the same vibes and same everything. And I thought he was fantastic. So my vote's for him. Ben just said I saw something that Devin Sawa wants to be Freddy.
And I was working to this. This is where I was getting to, but it feels like you already have something to say.
For me personally, I don't want to see that. I don't see Devin Sawa as Freddy.
He's good, but there's something kind of missing there, I think.
I mean, he's a great actor, no lie, but I don't know if I could see him sinking his teeth into that role as well as I want him to. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, I've been wrong before about other horror icons being played by different people, but for me, whoever the fuck played Vecna from Stranger Things, that guy is right up the alley, I think, and to kicking at least the new Nightmare on Elm Street's off. But I don't want a direct sequel to the first one or anything. I think they should they need to get a strong cast of characters that will fit for the story, and just go from film one, and maybe go to fucking Dream Warriors, by the time we get to 3. I'm cool with that. I'm one of those guys, and I was talking about this in the Discord, where like when it comes to slasher franchises I hold near and dear to my heart, I'm a glutton for them. So Cliff Booth said, or just hire Farousa to save on makeup.
No, I don't know. They'd have to cake it on to give her some weight. She's too thin.
Fuck you, Todd.
So that doesn't work.
I don't know if they were trolling, and I can't remember who it was, but I was listening to somebody the other day talking about Tilda Swinton as Freddy Krueger, and I was like, well, she's played dudes before. I don't know, maybe not the worst choice.
There's this one guy, I can't remember his fucking name, but he's making like a Nightmare on Elm Street short film right now. And he's done
Cecil from Horror Show, right? Dylan's New Nightmare? Is that the one you're thinking?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No. There's this guy that put out this like just a short reel of him reenacting a scene from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. I can't remember what the fuck his name is off the top of my head, but I know they're coming out with like a short film that has something to do with that. That guy, in my opinion, I wish I knew what the fuck his name was so everybody could watch. But if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, post it in the chat. But that guy looked like, with the makeup on, looks identical to Robert. And the acting reel I saw, I would be more than happy with him playing Freddy.
The only way I think I agree with it needs to be something else. If we're going to do something that finishes out that series, I have no problem with the lookalike and Robert doing a voice. But if we're like rebooting this franchise, like it needs,
you need a new.
We can't have similar. Like, I don't have a problem with Devin Sawa because I know he's a genre fan and he does work. He's not my ideal choice, but he pointed one thing out that I think is a big difference. And that is when they tried to do it last time, Robert wasn't retired.
Yeah.
He is retired. I mean, there shouldn't be as much pushback. There will be, but it shouldn't be as bad as the first round where it was taken away from. Sort of like they did. The Warner Brothers own New Line can suck a big fat dick because they fucked over Kane, they fucked over Freddy.
The Kane thing that isn't, from what I understand, at some point, now there's a bunch of different stories on that, but he made some question about likenesses on action figures. There is something out there about that. I don't know how widely reported it is because there's a lot of different things. There's the eyes thing and all sorts of different. Just Ronnie, you just like Ken Kersinger, and that's all there was to it. But from what I understand, there were questions about possible royalties. If it was his likeness, and that might have fucked him. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any direct answer, but that is something I heard at one point that there may be a little more to it. It's not just the whole Ken Kersinger, they want.
I think Kane's smart enough not to ask that question unless Robert's already getting him.
yeah. I mean that could be a thing too. But to be fair, we haven't outside of I think the maybe were they McFarlane figures that did the 2-pack? I can't remember. It may have
I got the NECA, the 12-inch, which 100% has Robert's likeness rights because it's his fucking face.
Maybe it is maybe it was a NECA figure. Do you know what I'm talking about? There was like a 2-pack where they're having the face off, and Freddy's like glove is up like this, and fucking. And
I have they have Freddy.
They have like the fire set that goes with it.
I have it if you want me to grab it.
Yeah, if you could reach
grab it.
Yeah, one second.
It'll be a sneak peek to when we finish our other gimmick.
Yeah, right.
So
eventually
then we'll move on. Oh, okay. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up. One of the. Oh wait.
Oh, yeah. Ben said one of the RLM guys was an extra on the remake and said that Jackie Earl Haley told him that he didn't like the OG Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Made me respect him less. I thought he was okay. That he was hardly my problem with that movie. I think my biggest problem was the fucking Nancy, that bitch. Anyways,
hold on. Let's make Dan.
Yeah, let's make him big and let's show it off.
That's the
one. Who's it by?
This one was Real Toys, NECA.
Okay, so it was NECA.
Yeah, I don't want to say doll because people get offended, but like the doll versions, the ones that are like Barbie doll sized.
This one's getting a little more rare. It pops up at conventions sometimes, but it's getting a little pricey.
Yeah, I remember having that, and then the McFarlane Aliens versus Predator before Alien versus Predator was a thing. He made that too. Yeah, I had those two sets next to each other on one of my shelves growing up. But yeah, I just I hope wherever Nightmare on Elm Street goes, they just find the right person to do it. I'm all for having the Stranger Things guys fucking go and like, even if they were gonna make it a series. I mean, that's kind of like the new thing now is to make shit into series. I think a Nightmare on Elm Street series could work very well. Usually
Bobby Brown is Freddy Krueger.
Stop it.
Oh yeah, I guarantee there'd be some Stranger Things kids up in there.
Oh yeah,
they'll all be.
But now that they're older. And
one of them could play Freddy in this part.
No. I'm not going that far. But now that they're older, if you had a couple of them, playing those seniors in high school roles, I think it could work out well. But you need to get on it pretty soon because, as you can see, those fucking kids, they grow like goddamn weeds, and they're looking like drastically different every season. I before we get out of the news portion of this, though, I also wanted to say Robert Eggers' Nosferatu just finished filming, apparently. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And Terrifier 3 got officially announced today, and it looks like they're going to have a 7-figure budget for this new one, which is really, really, really cool. We saw how well they did with a quarter of that. Film will Freddy. No, Ben.
That's what I was thinking of too.
But we're gonna get a new Terrifier. They said that they're aiming for the end of 2024 for its release. So hopefully we get that October date. But my only concern about that is them trying to push it out too fast. But at the same time, with the budget that they have now, they'll probably be able to make things flow faster since they're not working on. Because they had just a $250,000 budget for the Terrifier 2, and that took a couple of years. So hopefully, we just don't lose any quality in the effects or just as long as it's as good as Terrifier 2 or as good as the first Terrifier, I will be happy. But very much looking forward to that, considering Terrifier 2 has probably been my favorite slasher film that we've gotten in the last 20 years. So good news if you're an Art the Clown fan. I'm also really pissed off. I realized David Howard Thornton's going to be at like a horror con that's in Phoenix, in Arizona.
We've all got to meet up at one.
Yeah. No, we definitely need to do that. I think Vegas is like a Vegas con would probably be the easiest for everybody if we're ever able to do that. But
I say we get together and we drag Pugs to the Halloween 40. And just have we'll go make sure he's front row for every panel led by Sean Clark.
No, what I want to do is like Pugs. This is an old buddy of yours here, and then just walk him right up to Sean Clark.
Yeah.
All right, Pugs. Hopefully you're not listening tonight. He did tell me to wish you something on air, but I think I'm going to do it off air.
Okay.
Because technically it's not till tomorrow, so.
Okay, well, it's probably definitely
wish Dan
something off there, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope he figured it out, though.
I don't know. I don't want to think about it, but moving on.
I think it involves Dan's heritage. Am I correct?
I'm sure it does.
Damn.
So moving on to our first review of the evening, Shudder original Influencer from director Curtis David Harder. That is a porn name if I ever heard one. So Influencer follows while struggling on a solo backpacking trip in Thailand. Social media influencer Madison meets CW, who travels with ease and shows her a more uninhibited way of living. But CW's interest takes a darker turn. All right, Influencer. So this is kind of become a bit of a subgenre lately. It's been a subgenre for a little while, but influencer horror. Of course, we had Sissy, the Australian film, Deadstream, which was a favorite of a lot of people's recently. Follow Me. One, Ted, that I don't know if you're aware of, Die Influencers Die, which stars XPW's Lizzie Borden, Katie Morgan, and Tabitha Stevens. There's
also one. There's a couple others too. There's some slasher that came out last year called De-Influencer that I've kind of been interested in checking out. We also got The Seed from last year, which I actually really liked. I think. So yeah, a lot of social media related horror recently, which is cool. I mean, I'm all about having something be a product of the time, and if social media goes to shit in 10 years, it will be a nice thing to look back on. So I'm all for movies like this.
But what did you think of Influencer, Kruger?
Well, first thing I'll say, I love the shooting location. I think wherever the hell they shot this film, I don't know where they
Thailand, and it was Thailand and Canada for certain portions.
I thought all the sets, the house that they were in, looked great. The shots of the island and them in the water, all great stuff. I was expecting this to kind of be just a shitty movie about influencer being fucking stalked, and that's not really what we get. We get kind of more of a character study of a character that isn't the influencer that I thought was a nice surprise. I did like our main character a lot and her disdain for these social media shitbags, and her role that she played in the story, along with the mystery to why she's scarred up, I thought was pretty well done. I'm glad that we didn't get the story behind on why she has this big burn on her face.
I didn't take it as a burn. I thought it was like a kind of a fuck. Well,
it could be a birthmark, whatever the fuck it was. I'm kind of interested if we do get a sequel to this movie, if they're going to hash out why she's like that.
The
And
boogeyman can take care of it in the sequel.
Well, the one thing about it is, I mean, that's like actually hers. Like, I mean, that's not like
oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Apologize then.
Yeah, damn, Dan, you fucking called it fucked up.
Say it and no.
But I thought that
I'm sorry, I should have said that before.
Yeah, I did think though, the look of her, like with her birthmark on her face, they utilized that in some really nice shots where she's just like kind of brooding and behind, or she appears behind somebody, and then you just see, you know, her face like that. I thought they did that really well. But my biggest complaint for this movie, they definitely could have used the gore in a couple of areas. The kills in this are kind of shitty, in my opinion. And there's one that I was so ready just to watch a high heel go through somebody's throat, and then they blue balled me. So I was a little bit upset about that. And I also thought the ending was just kind of really underwhelming, because it felt like they sacrificed a good ending just to leave it open for a sequel. And it was also extremely predictable. Like once I saw her going back to the island, I knew what was going to happen next, and I wasn't a fan of that. But I will say, I didn't hate the movie. I didn't like it onto a extent where I could give it like a great rating. But I will say, I will watch a sequel if it does get one, because I'm interested to see where the story will go from here. I hope if they do a sequel, they go harder on the gore, because I think that would have did this movie just a lot for me personally. I'm the type of guy where if you have a solid killer and solid gore, there 9 times out of 10 I'm going to like the movie. But with this, we had a solid killer and the gore wasn't there and the kills weren't there. So I was kind of middle of the road when it came to the end. But like I said, if it gets a sequel, I will watch it and I will look forward to it. Just go harder in that sequel, please.
I had a good time with it. The one thing that stuck out, like, because you know, Dan didn't realize it wasn't a prosthetic. When I was watching, my first thought was like, man, this movie's going to get heat, because it's another one where they're giving the person with the different appearance. I don't know the proper way to say it now. Like the hero. So a lot of times, you know, that gets a lot of shit, because that's been a thing, like using people with like different, you know, missing an arm or something as the heels. Like all the old James Bond villains had scars and all that shit, and they've been like actively working against it. So I think the fact but I think the fact that it's real, like it's really who she is, it's going to shut those people up. They can't really say anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At first, I wasn't quite sure. I was like, wait, am I missing like some cultural thing, like sort of ashes or something? I wasn't sure what they were going for there at first. But so one thing I will say for this movie, there have been a lot of like influencer / social media horror movies where sometimes it's rough because it's just you hate everyone. They did a pretty good job of making them feel a little bit more human here. I think it would have been really easy for some of these characters to just be sort of playing Paris Hilton, sort of, you know, ditzy, stupid. They felt like real people here, and that's a big plus for the movie. It is more of a thriller. I wouldn't pitch it to slasher fans, but I enjoyed it. Now, there are some pacing issues. It runs a little bit long. I think the ending kind of brought it all back, because it is a very strong ending that I think most people are going to really, really enjoy. There's some pretty stupid character moves. I can't say there was anything that I don't know people that they would do the same thing. People are naive sometimes. But the whole "I just met you, now I'm gonna like go to this island, this remote island with you" is a little, you know, I know people that would do it.
If it was a dude and a chick, I could believe the dude getting.
Oh, I'd be dead as fuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely dead.
Well, maybe she was bi, dude.
There you go. there you go. You never know. But yeah, no, I would definitely be dead. But you know,
Oh, yeah.
I do think though, so when you find out some of the shit that character was going through, it does kind of make sense on why she would do something like that. You talk to anybody that's going through a breakup or abusive relationship, just to get yourself out there and do things is kind of like a common thing that you would find with people. I didn't really have that big of an issue with that, but I do get what you're saying.
yeah,
It's kind of like the same problem I had with Speak No Evil, where it's just like, you fucking just met these people and you're gonna go hang out with them for a weekend at their house in a location that you're not familiar with. What the fuck are you doing? But
yeah, you're gonna go home and maybe communicate for a while before you take that trip, generally speaking. But there's still idiots out there that do things. But I don't know. I feel like in 2023 there's a little bit less of that. There's a lot more paranoia now about people and their intentions. So it's not awful here. It's just, and again, it's a beautiful woman that you're going with. So you're right. That is, I'd be dead. I'd be the dumb one that dies. Like, why the hell would you do that? That's stupid. I like this movie.
Dan, I think that's any horror scenario. The answer is going to be, and Dan died.
That's not true. I would be very effective.
You know, you would live through a slasher though, that because you don't break any of the rules.
Here's why I would outlive you both.
There we go.
Here's where I would outlive you both. Krueger, you're definitely the toughest, but you would probably fight when you didn't have to fight. And then you would run into a supernatural sort of thing that would probably take you out. I would run.
We catch Dan's face into a
Dude,
zombie woman, and then he'd be
I hate to tell you, but I'm gonna pull out a fucking blade and stab somebody and book it. That's what I'm fucking doing. I'm gonna like this motherfucker's having a long monologue about how he's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be like and fucking run like a motherfucker.
Cut the Achilles
heel. And also, I've seen too many slasher films. Once that motherfucker's down, I'm gonna carve that fucker's head off and kick it into the fucking ocean.
It's never good to kick the villain into the water, though. Like, I feel you're better off, you know, lighting.
Well, if it's the head, hopefully a shark eats it or something, and then he's just fucking done for.
But then you get Ghost Shark. So
then I get the
or
shark.
Zombie Shark.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know.
Or cocaine shark, depending on if the character had drugs in their system.
We have a movie later that kind of breaks that, like, why wouldn't you just fucking kill her moments, but we'll get to it. This one, like I said, human characters. I appreciated that because that's a big issue in a lot of these. There's also some skin, some very beautiful women. Including, and once again, I apologize, I did not realize that was a legit birthmark, including her, beautiful, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a one-time watch. It's not really my cup of tea, but I had fun with it. It's definitely above average. I think a lot of you will really enjoy this.
It is one of the better Shudder things I've seen this year, so I mean, there's something to be said about that. Actually, when I think about it, it may be the best Shudder movie I've watched this year. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's anything that's kind of been over it. I'm trying to look at my list right now. This as of right now, or actually, I put Skinamarink a little bit over that, but I'm the only person that likes that fucking movie. Apparently,
it connected with you.
Me and my girlfriend. I swear to God, I haven't heard anybody else fucking like that movie other than us two.
Should have been a short.
I actually one of these days I need to go and watch the short film that it was like stemmed off of or whatever the fuck. Did Skinamarink get a Blu-ray?
It's getting one.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Hopefully they put that short film on there.
I think it is.
I used to.
Barney likes. Oh, go ahead.
Barney Likes Beer said, "I like that the opening credits didn't start till a half hour in." I get see, for me, I think that's kind of overdone now. I've just seen too many movies go and do that type of thing. But if it worked for you, I'm glad. Just for me, I kind of groaned a little bit. Cliff Booth says, if Fairuza was the killer in this slasher, Dan would die first of cum loss. Well, I would definitely agree with that.
I can know, and I would still do it. So.
I could just imagine it'd be like the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street 4 when the dog pisses on the corpse.
Oh my God.
Dan brings her back to full power.
Oh shit.
Watch out, Craft 3.
She is a classy lady. She does not like golden showers, Dad.
No, I didn't say it. I said it was.
It's okay.
I know.
With my cum, I get it. My magic cum. But
now I gotta cut it. I'm cutting that out.
You wanna? Why does magic come?
No,
we're not monetized. You can say
because I can picture you saying that to somebody that I'm not even gonna go there.
Magic
Let's
cum.
Rate, no more magic.
What do we? Don't we have to rate this dumb bitch?
Yeah,
yes.
let's rate this bitch. For me, I'm a 2.5 out of 5, so just at average. But I will say, if there's a sequel that goes harder, maybe I'll be a little bit more forgiving of the original in future rewatches. Because I will, if it does get a sequel, I will rewatch the first one, just because that's kind of the thing I do with any horror movie that gets a sequel. But 2.5 out of 5, middle of the road. But I also can see other people liking it a lot more.
I'm a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 is about where I'm at too.
Awesome. All right. So moving on to our next one, which is a Screambox original Creepypasta from multiple directors. And this one.
Well, before you go, I would like Kruger to read that one.
Big T says, Cliff's jokes are the only thing that are keeping her name alive in Hollywood. Referring to
candles and all sorts of cool shit.
She made what?
She makes candles now.
You probably shove them up your ass.
I'm gonna pitch magic cum candles soon.
Oh, stop it, brother!
If you guys wonder why, like, the interview just goes at the end, now you know. All right, Dan, please go. What do we have up next?
She's gonna get a Ziploc in the mail with this.
No, stop it!
All right, moving on.
I may need to cut that one out, though.
You started it. Ziploc. All right.
You just threatened to suck a
Ziploc. How did
full of what?
Suck what? I didn't say suck.
Just Dan wants the Fairuza bulk fucking vagina scented candles, is what he's saying.
No, I'm not. I said I would send a.
You're gonna send a fucking
in a Ziploc.
What are you gonna do? A fucking cum tribute? You sick fuck! Stop it.
All right. Todd's editing work tonight is gonna be.
I'm not editing a single frame.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you what what Pugs asked me to wish you.
No, we won't do that because I'm sure that will be edited.
You do.
All right.
I hear one more thing about any of your seeds. I'm telling you.
All right. Creepypasta. Lots of directors. Screambox original. And in this one, trapped in an abandoned house, a nameless man desperately searches for clues to how he got there. The answer is hidden within a series of disturbing viral videos, each of which begins to infect his mind. So
go ahead.
Yes, because I actually have to grab something really quick.
All right, now
hot tag, Kruger. Be right back.
This was the most wretched piece of shit I have watched all fucking year, and probably the worst Screambox original that's out there. I absolutely hated this movie. I thought the effects were cheap and just garbage. There was no thought put into the wraparound story. Like, here's my biggest issue. This fucking the wraparound is they're kind of going for like a VHS type of thing where he's putting in tapes and fucking looking at different videos on the computer. So why the fuck would it not be found footage? Like, you know what I mean? And like he's looking at a fucking tape and then a story is just playing out like a normal anthology. I thought that was so fucking dumb. I hated every single story. We got some bootleg ass Slender Man bullshit. that just infuriated. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you just do Slender Man, you fucking assholes?
I think Sony owns it now, probably, when they did the movie.
Still, like, and also you're gonna do creepypastas as an anthology, but you're not gonna have Jeff the Killer. Like, Jeff the Killer is one of the most famous creepypastas out there that I personally, I don't fucking know if it's ever got a movie adaptation to it. This would have been a perfect opportunity to do that. They didn't. Effects were garbage. Everything was garbage. This is my fucking least favorite goddamn movie I've seen all goddamn year. And it pissed me off to no fucking end watching it. By the end, I felt like I wasted my time and I could have watched fucking I can't think off the top. I was gonna say Dan Cum tribute videos instead, but fucking I'm good with that. I rather watch Creepypasta over that one. But I hated it. This is the worst movie I've seen all year. Big T said, Dan, she's so irrelevant. I guarantee you her stomach is full of someone else's magic from the streets of LA. God damn.
Lucky man. Kruger. So I bowed out real quick on Wretched Piece of Shit, I believe.
I fucking hated it. I absolutely. You're surprised, really? You're not surprised.
I'm a little surprised. I know it's not necessarily.
Dude, when you saw all the shitty CGI effects and the fucking bullshit blowing eyes, this felt cheap as fuck to me. And like, granted, there's other movies out there that are made for shoestring budgets that are cheap as fuck too. But this just, the thought, I felt like there wasn't enough thought put into it.
It feels like it is someone took a bunch of short creepypasta films someone made and took them all and put the segment with the guy watching the tapes.
Yeah.
And that was, and I don't know if that's what they did. They could have. I don't know if it was planned out and then they did it, or they took shorts and made it to an anthology, which they've done on, like, I want to say the 1031 movies, or really just a bunch.
Yeah, whatever movie the stylist, there was like some anthology that the stylist had its short film that stemmed off of, that was a part of it. That was one of those too, where they just took a bunch of short films from various directors.
There's a lot that do just use pre-existing shorts. All right, so I am somewhere in the middle. I'm surprised the hate was as strong as it was. So creepypasta, that's a tough thing to translate to film because they're really very simple, for the most part, simple campfire stories born on the internet. This movie, one thing I will say for it, it is very heavy on the tropes: monster under the bed, mysterious force dragging you off. And so there is some repetition to that in this anthology. I did overall like it, though. I mean, I will say, I think the segment with the old woman, they're very simple. They're very short. There's like probably at least 10, I think, stories here. So they're very like boom, right to the point. There you go. I thought some were really good. The one with the old woman investigating a potential supernatural menace in her house, I thought that was really creepy. I thought that the one, again, very simplistic, but the two siblings and the sort of tall man-esque character that was outside the house, I thought that was pretty solid. They're not very very well-developed stories because they are just so very short. But again, my experience with creepypasta, a lot of that is very basic stuff. I've enjoyed it in the past. I was never big into creepypasta like a lot of people were.
I was, because like in high school it was a big deal. But I just personally, like, I've always wanted to see a good, like, do you know the creepypasta for Jeff the Killer? If you if you've seen you probably seen the picture, Todd, online. There's like it involves like somebody logging their fucking experience, and then like this creepy dude with this fucking carved up face pops up on the screen and posts a picture of himself or some shit. That was the one that I had my fingers crossed for, because in my opinion, we've already got the definitive Slender Man movie in Always Watching, which is done by the Marble Hornets people that did that awesome YouTube thing. Man, fucking.
They probably should have just called that Slender Man, because it predated Slender Man, and you're right, it is.
Well, that's Doug Jones, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so, I mean,
who knows when Sony got the rights?
Yeah, that
could have already been locked up.
Yeah, that is a good point. It could, but I do feel like I've seen other Slender Man movies come out though after Slender.
There's one just called Slender.
That's the
yeah, they waited too long to capitalize on it.
Indie Phantom said, I actually thought this was about creepypasta, like the stuff. Now I remember this. Yeah, just like pasta fucking attack.
Yeah,
dude, that's a trauma movie if I've ever heard one. Just Attack of the Killer Spaghetti. There you go.
There you go.
I don't know. So that might be racist.
You didn't like.
That's a Killer Tomatoes sequel, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, hold on, stop, Dan. Dude, they fucking get some of the Killer Tomatoes from Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and they make a sauce, and they're making it for like a big fucking maybe like a big presidential dinner or something, and then the
spaghetti,
and then the pasta and the spaghetti, and then you have the meatballs as their fucking eyes, or so the meatballs can have some fucking teeth to them.
But and I mean, if we're doing this, aren't we going full stereotypical? And this is like at a mafia wedding.
Oh, dude, I mean, we can. You got the Tony Soprano ripoff. Hey, where the fuck is my gabagool?
So you didn't like the old lady segment, the I'm thirsty. I thought that was really creepy. Also, the snuff film segment with the hooks. I figured you'd like that.
No.
I'm surprised. I think it works fairly well. Just turn out the lights. It's not perfect, but Todd, if you keep derailing me, I'm going to start talking about Magic Come again.
Well, since you did it, there we go. I wasn't going to bring it up, but
there you go.
Ben Grimm says mix the tomato sauce with Magic Come.
And remember what I said, Dan, if you said it again?
Well, that's because you were derailing me, though.
I wasn't. I didn't even say a word.
He just left.
I enjoyed most of it. There is a lot of repetition. There's a lot of tropes, but I still think a lot of people are going to be entertained by this, because I was. It did it for me. I wish our wraparound segment, I wish that was a little more interesting. That was one of my least favorite.
Or had some fucking thought put into it.
Yeah, I mean, that did feel sort of like, you could have come up with something a little more interesting to tie this all together. And I have no idea if they were pre-existing shorts or not. It kind of felt like they belonged together. They were just a little bit too similar. You know, it's like, okay, I get it. Monster in the closet, monster under the bed. You know, it needed to stand out. But I did like the snuff segment, and I really liked the grandma segment.
Those two were, I'm kind of just like, it drug too much. I felt like I liked about half of it.
Okay. Well, I dug it. Well, what do we rate this one, gentlemen? Kruger, you're obviously really
a big fat fucking 0.
Wow.
Okay.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah. I'll go a little higher. I'm a 2.
Oh, I'm a 3. I enjoyed it. I did. It wasn't. I heard some really good things from some people that saw it beforehand, and it didn't quite live up to that. It is really heavy on the tropey side of things, but sometimes that's fine. Turn the lights out. Good creepy stories. I think this one's actually going to be pretty popular with people, but not Kruger. Goddamn.
Well,
I'll tell you,
he's very close with the source material, so he's gonna tell you when it's See, me, I have like no frame of reference.
Yeah, no, dude. Like growing up, that was always the thing. Kids would talk about it in school. They'd be like, "Did you see the new creepypasta that they fucking posted?" And it was like definitely a big thing in high school, but. Unfortunately, to this day, I'm still longing for my Jeff the Killer adaptation. So somebody needs to make that happen.
Well, since you didn't get that, it's time to put you in a good mood. Dan, what do we have next?
All right. right, we have the Kaiju event of the decade, the century, perhaps, from our good friends at the Asylum and writer-director Mark Gottlieb. We have Ape versus Mecha Ape. And in this film, recognizing the destructive power of its captive giant ape, the military makes its own battle-ready AI, Mecha Ape. But its first practical test goes horribly wrong, leaving the military with no choice but to release the imprisoned giant ape to stop the colossal robot before it destroys downtown Chicago. All right, so Kruger, well, you got to go first because I mean, this is Kaiju. I know you went first before, but it doesn't matter.
Fine. All right. I'll start with the only good thing I have to say about this movie. The opening scene I kind of like because it was a nice homage to the reveal of Mecha Godzilla in the original Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla film. That was a nice little homage. Outside of that, I fucking did not like this movie whatsoever. The CGI like it starts out okay and then just progressively gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And by the fucking end, it looks like some PS3 bullshit. Like I was not fucking happy with that. There's just like Ape versus Monster, not enough of Ape versus Mecha Ape fighting. And the stuff that's there is just extremely sloppy and clinky animation. And also they cut away to the human fucking scenes like every 2 seconds. So
I will say Tom Arnold was definitely not in the same room with any of the other.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely,
it was a Holiday Inn conference room.
Yeah,
because the whole thing was like really vague, like just that sounds awful.
Yeah, yeah, no. The acting, obviously it's an Asylum film, so it ain't going to be no Academy Award winning bullshit, but it was bad. And just, I was waiting for this movie to end after the first 10 minutes. I will say I may have liked it a little bit more than Ape versus Monster, but that's not saying fucking much at all. It's Ben Grimm said I actually liked how Mecha Ape looked. Yeah, I thought the design was fine, but also what the fuck was up with Abe, the ape? Like he fucking like looked way different than he did in the first movie. Like
wasn't the Mecha Ape the ape from the first movie? Didn't his skin come off at the end?
No, his skin came off at the beginning, revealing that it's.
But wasn't that the end of the first one?
No,
I didn't get to rewatch the first.
I didn't either.
No, it wasn't the end of the first
one.
But
it wasn't even the fight from the end?
No.
Okay.
I like how Mecha Ape no-sells the missiles, though. It's just like minor inconvenience.
Yeah. To me, this was a waste of time. Just like I've found most Asylum movies for me nowadays. There was a time I actually enjoyed a good trashy Asylum film, but
is it just the mockbusters though? Because there's some other stuff that they still is entertaining.
I heard that Aquarium of the Dead or whatever isn't half bad. I haven't.
Zombies. That's actually Zombies.
I've seen
it is.
I saw the first Zombies and I actually thought that was okay. But for the most part, like I like those early ones. Like I'm trying to think. Wasn't Boa versus Python one?
No, that was Sony.
What about Komodo versus Boa?
No, that was new.
No, Komodo versus King Cobra. I shouldn't know that. Like I know that.
Oh no, I saw that you're doing Curse
on the planet. That
Curse. I thought he was doing Curse. The other one, the one with Gloria.
Curse of Komodo. Then there was Komodo versus Cobra.
Was there some fine titties in it?
You know what? I don't think she showed her fine titties in that.
Oh, Gloria Gilbert is 100% naked in the Curse of the. Blah, blah,
maybe Curse. I don't know. The third one, I think was PG-13. Michael Parr was in it, but we'll talk about it.
Well, then maybe I don't like any. I would have to look through their fucking. I'd have to look through their catalog.
Some of the early slasher stuff.
Yeah, I Am Omega is solid. Legion of the Dead, it's this hot mummy chick that's naked like the whole movie. That's solid. Jolly Roger Massacre at Cutter's Cove. Some of their early.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, some of their Beast of Bray Road solid. A lot of their early stuff before it really went like all mockbuster.
Oh, Ben brought up Snakes on the Train. Actually,
that was fun.
Yeah.
I actually like that one. There's my one Asylum, because I remember I rented that. Dude, yeah, I rented that at a Hollywood Video, and there's like some scene where skin are like there's snakes coming out of this chick's skin that really freaked me out when I was a kid. So I do think that one's decent. Indie Phantom said Asylum needs more titties. Miss the sex comedies.
I agree.
Yeah, 18-year-old version and Co-ed and the Zombie Stoner are good shit.
That was really good. Like if horror comedy wise, that one's really good. And the makeup's good on the zombies. As far as I know, it's all practical. There's probably some blood spatter, as I'm saying. It's probably a lot.
Yeah, but it is good.
I don't remember.
Asylum still makes some entertaining movies. So this one, Tom Arnold, definitely a Holiday Inn conference room. And I think they just sat him down and it's like, Tom, we're not sure. Just you're some sort of authority military guy. And it's going to either be for Ape versus Mecha Ape or Terracuda 2 Electric Boogaloo. You just need to act scared. Cities are being destroyed. So just yeah, bad shit. Just we trust you. Go for it. Just picture Roseanne attacking a city. That's your motivation.
But can I just bring this up? How the fuck did Asylum do a cocaine?
No, they did not. They're the only ones who haven't yet.
Meth Gator is going to be Asylum, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Okay.
I'm not sure. I know Meth Gators.
Well, then they're just slipping because that shit should have been out like 6 months ago. Should have been out before Cocaine Bear, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
That's how Corman would have done it.
Well, that's how they did Ape versus Monster. I think it came out a couple of weeks beforehand.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I mean, I think this movie's pretty as advertised. Obviously, it's an Asylum movie. It's not Ape and Mecha Ape beating the shit out of each other for the entire 90 minutes. But I thought what we got was entertaining. I think when Mecha Ape is like punching through the plane that it's in, I thought that was kind of funny. A lot of it, honestly, is the woman that boards Mecha Ape and is just, for some reason, just trying to fuck with the same 3 wires to shut him down the
whole fucking time, dude.
It's 3 wires.
Yeah, and that was my problem. Like, we would get Mecha Ape versus Ape fighting, and then we would cut to her fucking around with something. And it did that, like, I swear to God, like 50 times.
I think the windmill brawl will probably trigger pugs, or I guess they're technically not windmills, but I thought when Abe, the normal ape, hits Mecha Ape with the train car, there were a few funny moments. A lot of which are in the trailer, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, Abe ripping off its arm and beating him with it. There were some moments that were actually quite entertaining. You can do better from Asylum, and you could certainly do worse as well. But I had fun. It's as advertised. Obviously, this is a B movie. You kind of know going in if you're going to like this one or not. Yeah. They need to do another Sharknado and get Tom Arnold and Roseanne in it. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
I was gonna say you need Roseanne and just like some black dude to snuff her out real quick. That'd be great. Or what was the comment she made? Was it about? I thought it was about.
Yeah, there was
a black woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You just need a black woman to beat the shit out of her.
If we're gonna do a modern feud, then you got to get fucking Darlene. What's her name? Sarah Gilbert.
Oh, Sarah Chalk. You bring back both Beckys for Sharknado.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah Chalk was the one that they should have just stuck with.
Todd, what about you though?
I didn't answer.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was better than the first one. I had fun with it, but I knew you weren't gonna like it. It's a lot of crap, but like it was stuff I can laugh at. Like Dan said, there's worse Asylum, there's better Asylum, there's a lot better Asylum. For the mockbusters, I've seen worse. Like Dan said. It's worth a watch. Check it out on Tubi.
I would say, actually, now that you brought that up, Monster Island, probably out of all the ones I've seen, has been the best one. That's still hot fucking garbage, but
you might like their Sherlock Holmes one. There's a lot of dinosaur stuff in that. I remember that being decent. That's a while ago now, but at least Tom Arnold wore a clean shirt, unlike Michael Madsen. I'm gonna say more Tom Arnold, less.
Well, to be fair, they probably put a clean shirt on Michael Madsen, and it took like 2 minutes for that to change.
He was probably like the first one, and it's like, let's just shoot it in the bar. It's like, but you're the president. Let's just shoot it in the bar.
The president can have a drink.
You just see like he's the president having like his war room.
Where was Eric Roberts for this one though? He must have been busy.
They didn't want to shoot it by.
They had that Tom Arnold money this time. I am shocked they didn't slap with the star of True Lies somewhere on there.
You definitely. Who do you want in an asylum movie now? Since we're like cherry picking like all of these.
Well, I know there's a certain actress I think we all want to show up in an asylum film.
No, if it's Fairuza Balk, I'll take her in everything. I'm down for that. I'll watch her fight some CGI ape for
you just see
2
like
hours.
Instead of a boom mic in the frame, you just see a little bit of the crack pipe.
You have Fairuza Balk. You have her star in Attack of the 50-Foot Crackhead.
Oh.
Versus a ape versus attack or versus the 50-Foot Crackhead. There you go.
Damn. I'm gonna listen one day. God damn it. So on that note, what do we rate this? Well, I'll rate it. I'm 2.5. I enjoyed it. I probably won't revisit it anytime soon, but yeah, it met my expectations.
Are we having 2 for the same day, Kruger? What do you give it?
Half star.
Oh,
half star out of 5.
I'm gonna go with 2.5. I'm in the middle.
And that half star is only because of the Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla homage. If it didn't have that, because like I will say, like when that happened, I was like, oh, that was really fucking cool. And then it went to like 40 minutes of fucking dialogue with shitty actors, and I was like, this is fucking this is a mess. And then next thing you know, fucking I'm watching fucking Abe's arm go through the mecha ape in the fucking animation. I'm like, fuck this thing.
They had superpowers. You didn't know he could like disperse his mass so he didn't feel a punch.
Yeah, apparently.
All right.
All right. So moving on.
Ben asks, how has Mandy Rose not starred in one yet?
Good point.
She's probably making a lot more than Asylum money on.
Yeah, that is true. She's her OnlyFans, I'm pretty sure made her a couple of mil right out the gate. So
that had to be like, I wake up and I'm like, why do I have like 47 messages in my inbox? And it turns out it's all Mandy Rose stuff. And I was like, okay.
I'm glad you're friends with perverts now.
Okay, I didn't tell you guys a story. I'm going to tell it before we jump to the next movie. But I was talking to our buddy Caesar today, and he was talking to another mutual friend, Tony Boy. I know Kruger knows him. And he was like, Caesar was talking to him. He's like, man, that sucks about Todd's friend. I was like, huh? And Caesar's like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, I saw he died. It was on his page. So when I shared the video, your RIP short, he thought it was for you. He thought you were dead.
That's fucking great.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
The short you post, the short we did. The what's his name?
Oh, Gary Kent.
He saw the RIP post on my page, and he just saw your face and the years and thought you died.
Me? Well, shit. Oh, I'm sorry, Caesar. No, not me. Not me.
I'm just letting it go.
It was wishful thinking.
I know.
Damn.
Yes. No, it wasn't Caesar. It was someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, the other guy. Okay. Yeah, well, maybe that got extra clicks. I'll just think it's.
No. He said,
Well, didn't Joe Bob do some shit like that too? He posted like in memoriam or something, and everybody thought he died, and fucking people were freaking the fuck out.
I know someone said fucking R.I.P. Lloyd and had a freak out one day.
All right. Well, Lloyd's alive and well, and so am I. So
I have to get a
moving
green.
on
I have
to
to get a green one for this now. For
Right.
Trauma shows.
All right. All right, so moving on to our next film, which I'm kind of curious. It is a French film from director Léa Mysus, and in this one, it is The Five Devils. So Vicky lives with her mother, Joan, and father, Jimmy, a man struggling to find his place. When Vicky's aunt, Julia, arrives after being released from prison, her presence brings back the past in a violent, magical way. All right, so Five Devils. I'll go first because I think I probably am the one that liked it the most. So first off, not a horror film. There's some light horror elements. It's kind of a different kind of genre because Vicky, who is the child, has an intense sense of smell that actually, this is kind of a time travel story of sorts. I wouldn't call it like full on science fiction. That's not necessarily the vibe, but kind of a lot of magical realism to this one, I guess, if I had to put a tag on it. It's hard to define, but it's essentially, I guess, a dark drama. And it has Adele, I can never say her name, Adele Exarchopoulos. You'll recognize her from Blue is the Warmest Color, probably one of the more steamy extended love scenes in cinema history in that movie. She plays Joanne, the mom. And through this time travel that Vicky is going through, you kind of slowly reveal the story that connects all of these characters. I love this. I think it's really intense emotionally. It's not going to be something for everybody, but I think it all makes sense. This is not experimental art house horror or anything like that. You know exactly what happened, what the movie's saying at the end of it. And yeah, I was really captivated by this one. I thought the actress Sally Drame, who played Vicky, I thought she was really good, really sympathetic. How she's kind of processing everything she sees, the relationship between the aunt and Joanne's character, and how that evolved. There's a character that is burned, which that's where maybe some of the light horror elements come in. And you also kind of figure out through these flashbacks how that came to be, how the aunt figures into it. This is drama horror with a heavier emphasis on the drama. And it's also somewhat of a love story.
I'd go drama with horrific elements. I can't even really.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why people would classify it under horror, but it's not very. Doesn't have very strong horror elements whatsoever. I mean,
I just say take the ride. I don't think all movies necessarily need to fit perfectly into a specific genre.
Yeah, don't go in thinking this is a horror film. Let's just put it that way.
It tugs at the heartstrings. I know some people have actually criticized the husband, the dad character, and just thought there wasn't much to him. I actually disagree. I actually felt really bad for that guy. Like, it's kind of a quiet, aloof performance, but I think he projected pain quite well. It's tough because I'm still looking for that like great horror film to come out this year, and I actually do think this is a great film. I agree. I'm not going to probably be able to count it at the end of the year. definitely one of the better films I've seen, though, and I hope people give it a shot because I think you might enjoy it. Just don't, I think in the beginning it sets it up more as a horror film, which isn't going to help it for people.
There's reason it's screaming on Mumbai US and not on Shudder or Screambox.
It'll end up on Shudder or Screambox at some point. Shudder's definitely had some. Well, they Dogs Don't Wear Pants. Was that the name of it? Like, that's not really a horror movie.
You're giving Todd fucking PTSD.
That movie is so fucking good, Todd. I know it's not really a horror movie. Todd's got something against that movie, and I don't understand. Dogs Don't Wear Pants.
That was like the thing when I first started doing the podcast with you guys. You were always Todd was always giving you shit about Dan Doesn't Wear Pants. That's what you used to call it.
It was that or the Nobodies. One or the other. It was always. Now the Nobodies is rearing its ugly head again.
Well, the Nobodies, I didn't say I love that movie. It
has nothing to do with the movie.
We had some nudists on, Todd. Why are you so you're not accepting?
Did promise this
BDSM culture? You're not accepting of nudists.
Hold on, no. It has nothing to do with accepting. You're the one who shames 5 times a show, not I. I'm just you promised us something and you delivered us something totally different.
There were titties in that. I can't help that the old guy
there were she had titties on her body somewhere.
God damn, Todd. Damn.
Well,
that was funny if you could have seen it though when he stood up. Pugs is like, Todd, brains. edit.
Yeah.
But
we were
that
was on the old system.
That was on the old system. I love this film. Call it what you want to call it. I really enjoyed it, but I might. It's an odd one for this show, though. I don't want people to get something that they're not expecting, but that's me.
What you said earlier about it it felt like it was building to a big horror ending. That was my biggest issue with this thing. I didn't absolutely fucking hate it because I was invested in the story, but I felt like we were building to something, and then the ending we got just fucking made me really disinterested in whatever happened beforehand. I'm a horror guy through and through, so I was expecting a horror movie, and I got something a lot different. But if you like romance dramas or anything like that,
It's a weird fucked up family dramas.
Yeah. I mean, I could see people liking that, but for me, it just wasn't my cup of tea. But again, I didn't hate it. At the end of the day, though, I'm not going to give it a great rating just because I was really disappointed by the finish of the film, because I did think it was building to something. Just give me it. Like I said, sometimes I just need one good fucked up ending with a little gore effect, and then I'll become happy all of a sudden. But with what we got with this, it left me really disappointed, especially with me being invested with the story.
Okay, Todd.
Yeah, I get where Kruger's coming from. I knew it wasn't really horror and we weren't going to get a really horror ending. I was expecting a little bit more from the ending. I thought we were building to more. So I agree with what Kruger said. I wasn't expecting a big horror payoff though. But I get what Kruger means though, with the kind of disregards what happened before after that, because he was from it. But I mean, it's one of those movies. I think it is. What was that one we did? It was exploitation. It was different. It wasn't horror. Another fun one with the kids. Well, that one wasn't sci-fi, but it was different and it had its own feel. It wasn't really genre. You couldn't put it down in exactly one. I feel like that with this.
Are you talking about the Blumhouse one?
No. It was one from Artsploitation. It had all the teenagers. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but either way, yeah, I think it's worth checking out at least once. Just go. You got to go in knowing it's not horror, and it's. I don't think Dan mentioned it. It's from France.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a different feel. It's a different culture. But yeah, I say.
Well, I say check it out. But what do you? Well, I'm 4.5. I'm sure I'm the highest of the bunch of us.
I'm a 2 out of 5.
Okay, Todd.
Is my mic on?
Yeah,
It was
doing some weird shit, but I think you're good now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it fixed itself.
All right.
So Todd, what say you?
I'm a 3.
Okay. All right. And I do think you'll see this on Shudder or Screambox at some point. I feel like the word is starting to get out there a little bit. All right.
How licensing really works, Dan, but okay.
It'll get out there at some point, Todd. They'll license it, Todd. I believe in this film. I liked it. All right. So, moving on to our next film, which I am very, very curious to see what everybody thought, and that is the Thai slasher film Night of the Killer Bears from director Kanpong Benjung Finji. Did my best there. I probably
think you did a good job.
I think I did an okay job there. I practiced it before the show. So Night of the Killer Bears, Thai slasher, and it's a story of a group of 5 friends who go camping after not seeing each other for a long time. But an unthinkable event happened. When a friend disappeared and his body was later found, when the reunion takes place in a terrible situation. This was maybe English, not the first language in this description. So they survived the killer who might be lurking nearby. Well, you kind of get the gist of it, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't have access to my DVD handy. But essentially, there was a terrible event, and there's a reunion at this mysterious inn where, of course, the killer, who may have something to do with that past horrible event, is there. All right, so I had a lot of fun with this movie. Now, there's a lot of films, particularly lately from the UK, that are very similar premises. Similar premise is this film, but just very bland, very safe, light on the gore. Usually, any kind of nudity is non-existent. But I saw that this was a Thai film, so I was a little bit more intrigued, and I actually had a blast with this. I think this one, I had more fun with this than Cocaine Bear, although it doesn't count because it's just, there's not actual killer bears. It's a dude in a bear mask. But so there is some CG blood, obviously. They do a pretty good job of covering that up, though, but it's a very gory movie. In fact, I was surprised. We get somebody split in half with an axe. We get titty stabbing, Todd. Titties cut off. Like this one was surprisingly a lot gorier than I expected. There's decapitations. It really did bring the gore again. Some of it's CG, but that's kind of expected. We get Ty Stifler in this movie, which I popped for. I want a Ty Stifler action figure. I thought that guy was hilarious. This is just, it's a B movie, don't get me wrong, but it kind of shows that here in America we don't do B movies right anymore. This one's super gory. There's a little bit of skin, not a lot, but there is a little bit of skin in the film, and it's just batshit because you end up at this inn and it's like, okay, so is everybody in this movie like a Todd serial killer? Because it seems
no, sir. You don't get to use a Todd. If I don't get to use a Dan, you don't get to use a Todd.
All right. I had a blast with it. I think it was a lot of fun. For a dumb slasher, I think it delivers big time for me. And the characters were good too. There's a lot of characters in this, and I think they're all pretty well developed. You got, female Patrick Bateman, Ben Grimm, wish it was someone in a full bear suit. It's just a guy in a dress suit with a bear head. There's another one called Pandemonium that's like always at Dollar Tree. So there's some other teddy bear killer movies, but I dug it. I think if you're up in the mood for a fun, dumb slasher, this one delivers. I was surprised how good it was. I might be alone. We'll see. Hot tag to whoever wants to go next.
Todd?
Oh, yeah, and I completely lost my thought. I really like this one too. I know Slasher said that Dan compared it to Blood and Honey earlier, and it makes him never want to watch it. So I know that's a good thing.
Wait, what did you say? You liked Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
No. I said Slasher on video said.
Oh, well, I don't know, Chris.
Chris, I think you'll actually want to watch Blood and Honey.
He did. I think he hated it.
That's
what it sounded like. I think it's different enough. I get where Dan's comparing them because there's both have a guy in a bear coat.
A little more comedic, but
I know. But I wish we would have got the subtitle, not just the dubbed option. But it made it a little goofier. I mean, it didn't bother me.
It works for this tone.
It does.
Ty Stifler, I thought it worked really well.
But Kruger, what'd you think?
Well, I hate to be the turd in the punch bowl.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just the dubbing on the version I watched, but it was so fucking annoying just hearing the dub voices throughout this fucking thing, and it was driving me insane. It absolutely hindered my enjoyment of the movie in general. I personally didn't really care for any of the characters. They seemed overdone. Things I've seen before. And the story I thought just was kind of all over the place. Like eventually things make sense at the end, but for like the first hour that this thing is going on, I was like, what the fuck is actually happening? Like this doesn't make sense and was not written out properly. The kills, I will say, they're the only good thing about this movie. And normally that'd be enough for me to forgive the other shortcomings. But in this case, I just can't. I didn't have a good time with it. And probably after the opening scene, it was another one where I was just truly waiting to be put out of my misery. But, you win some, you lose some. I would be interested to see this in its original audio format with, the Thai voices and it just being subtitled instead of being dubbed. Maybe if I ever get my hands on a version like that, I'll give it a rewatch and maybe I'll like it more. But for what I saw, I did not have a fucking good time and I was really, really disappointed. And I remember watching the trailer for this and being like pretty excited about it too.
It's pretty well paced and lively. I mean, the last 30 minutes is just the fight scene with the bear and everything. I dug it. I really had fun with it.
I get it though. The dubbing gives it a goofier tone.
It helps it. I think it actually. I don't think it hurts.
He doesn't like. That's not a tone Kruger would like. Those what I'm saying.
No, I don't like. But I just don't like fucking watching shit dubbed in general. And
I get that.
And it was horrible dubbing. Like this is like Netflix dubbing is goddamn Oscar worthy compared to this bullshit.
I thought the kills, like the machete through the head and all that would redeem anything for you.
I wish it would have. I really do. But unfortunately, this just for me was a bad time. But I'm glad you guys had a good time with it. So on that note, I rated a 1.5 out of 5.
Ooh,
Dan, what are you giving it?
I had a ton of fun. I'm a 3.5. And yeah, I mean, cute Thai girls, lots of gore. It's really well paced. I thought the characters were actually pretty well developed for this type of movie. The creepy innkeeper. It made me laugh, entertained me for 90 minutes. You know what? Night of the Killer Bears, I had more fun than I did with Scream 6.
Yeah, but you hate that franchise. That's like me saying I love this better than Axum. Yeah, no shit.
Well, everybody would like it better than Axum.
I don't know. I saw someone today. Someone brought up Creepshow 3 being the worst movie ever. And then I saw him put, "Oh, you Axum," and I got excited. I was like, "Yeah, someone who gets it." He's like, "But that one falls into the point where it's like everything's so bad it starts to become good." I was like, "No, this motherfucker's wrong. He missed the point of Axum. That movie's a piece of shit. Nothing redeemable." And I find something redeemable in almost anything I watch.
Well, what do you give this one? Because I had fun.
I found this redeemable, and I give it a 3.
All right.
And fuck Axum.
Yeah, fuck Axum. I think everybody agrees.
And you can go dig back in on our Patreon and watch us watch that piece of shit.
So Kruger, you didn't get a screening anywhere near you for Wrath of Becky, right?
Nope. So
all right, Kruger, I'm gonna pull you out of this and we'll bring you back in a minute.
Before though, just so people know,
back.
At the end of the show, we are gonna have a horror pack unboxing. So yes, Kruger will return.
Yes, we're still coming. We still got more. Nope.
Be good. More to come. Tom.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're being good. All right, what do we got now? Well, we know. Dan?
All right. We have The Wrath of Becky, which is, of course, is the sequel to Becky. And it picks from directors Matt Angel and Suzanne Coote. And this one, 2 years after she escaped the violent attack on her family, Becky attempts to rebuild her life in the care of an older woman, a kindred spirit named Elena. But when a group known as the Noblemen break into their home and attack them and take their beloved dog, Diego, Becky must return to her old ways to protect herself and her loved ones. Okay, so we get kind of the teenage John Wick setup there. And all right, so this is kind of... I'm kind of torn with this one.
You know by everything about this film, you should hate this movie so bad.
I don't hate this movie.
You should, though.
I don't know why.
Well, I'll tell you why when we get through.
Well, I'm sure some of my criticisms factor into that. But first, I wanted to throw out Sean William Scott, who is the leader, the main villain in this. Is actually really good. You do still kind of see Stifler, so it's hard when he's trying to be intimidating. He did play what?
No, I was just gonna say he does a better job, I think, than Kevin James.
Yeah, I would agree. He did play a serial killer in a 2018 movie called Bloodline that we did back in the day. So I think Sean William Scott is a very capable actor. So this series... So it definitely will please the gore hounds. I will throw that out there. There's some creative kills. There's one involving a grenade, multiple bear traps in one scene. There's some fun gore to be had here. I've always felt even the first one at times had a bit of a tone issue. This one kind of evolves into more... By the end of it, it felt like a Feast 3 situation where it maybe got a little bit too over the top for its own good compared to where we started.
I was going to say, I rewatched the first one. I don't think it holds up as well. I think that Kevin James' performance lands too weak now.
They kind of neuter his character because they introduce him as a really scary dude. Then it was just like, I can tell they were holding back a little bit, especially being a neo-Nazi character. It's like, yeah, but we kind of want to make him like a light, a Diet Coke neo-Nazi, not go full Coke, basically. This one, though, I mean, the villains are fucking idiots in this. The characters, Sean William Scott's good. So this is just at the beginning. I won't spoil anything major, but so they follow Becky to her house after she disrespects them in a diner, and shit goes south. They end up shooting her foster mom, unofficial foster mom, whatever you want to call her. and taking her dog. Now, very bizarre because they knock her out. They've just committed a murder. So just taking the dog and just leaving her. Now, granted, at that point, they don't realize that there's obviously she's a lot more than just your typical teen girl. But I'm like, so you commit this crime and you just leave a witness right there.
To be fair, they were really fucking stupid.
But
you always have to factor in, and you never do this. The
self-preservation, though, dude, you can be dumb.
but you also don't think right in that situation. Your brain can be like fight or flight. We're getting the fuck out of here now. So you never.
But they took time to take the dog that they knocked out.
Again, when something of that magnitude happens and you have to figure out what to do, you're not going to think like you are right now, Dan. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way.
If you're thinking enough to steal the dog,
but see, that's a stupid thought.
Just kick her head in real quick.
No, I agree, but that's a stupid thought. I mean,
well, I don't know. I think at a certain point, I mean, these aren't good guys. You just committed murder. She saw your faces. Why would you just leave her and then take her dog on top of it to where she might come looking for the dog? That's extra motivation.
Because that's the whole plot of the movie.
They were too stupid. I'll put it that way. They were too stupid.
But I'm pretty sure that was on purpose. Wait, I'm gonna just pause it right there.
It's a tone issue.
Have you met my friend? Have you met a group of those people? They're all this fucking stupid. I'm not gonna say all their names. Trust me.
Even a dumb person would not do that. Even a dumb person would not do that. And here's the issue, it gets dumber. So Courtney Gaines, who I like in this movie, they're essentially like a sort of incel militia, kind of sort of, although Sean William Scott really isn't, but basically an incel militia is essentially the villains here. Neo-Nazis, just more incels.
It's the alt-right
than the original movie. Yeah, essentially. Yeah. So
they should have busted out the tiki torch, though.
Courtney Gaines' character, at one point, again, this is just a line, she basically gets the best of him. But he talks her down. He's like, I have a kid. I have a son. And she hesitates. And then she like questions him. He's like, what's his name? And he's like pausing, and then he goes, Adolf.
No.
It's a minor spoiler.
Yeah, but I just said.
But he goes, Adolf.
And I told you to stop again, and you said it again.
All right, whatever.
Whole fucking joke.
But here's the thing. That again, I'm sitting here thinking like, how hard is it for you to say fucking Jim, Chuck, Steve? It's like I can't, and it's not. It's just dumb, not funny, just dumb.
See, I agree to disagree. I thought that shit was funny, and my theater did too. They were laughing.
To me, that was just dumb. It's at a certain point, it's not funny, stupid. It's just stupid, and I thought some of that was just stupid. I think they would have benefited from making these characters a little more nasty, which Sean William Scott is. Like I said, there's a tone issue, I think, in the first film too. If you wanted it to just be a comedy, I'm fine with that. Like, you can just go full comedy. There were some great scenes, though. I was entertained by it. I thought, there's a little bit of a surprise character that comes into it towards the end that you wouldn't expect. As I said, the gore was great. There were some really cool highlights in this one. I'm just torn. I just thought it's dumber than it has to be. And the way it ends, I'm kind of like, I don't think I want to see this Becky 3. I don't know about you, and I won't.
I do. This was fun. I had fun with it. I don't know if you go in expecting stuff to just like it.
There's just Fast 10 or Fast 9. Okay. It gets to a point where it's like, okay, that's just dumb. That's not.
Yeah, but rewatching the first one, it's pretty dumb too. They even have a moment this very similar with Kurgan that they do with Courtney Gaines in this. I mean, it's really. I don't think the first one holds up because it's trying to be serious, but like it's not hitting the things they need to fucking go hard on. They need to go fucking hard in it, and they don't. So rewatchability on that, I'm like, they should have just had fun with it. Then I go to the movies. They just had fun with it. It is very much Feast 2. I'm not going to go full Feast 3 because we had no robots. Spoiler. But it was like, the tone was way up. It was different. And I had no problem with that. Is it a total fantasy? Absolutely. But you go to the movies for something that I wasn't expecting realistic.
Like,
you should, okay, Dan, you should have been checked out the moment you have a girl beating these guys. I mean, that kind of goes against like everything.
I can roll with that at this point, but like, and outthinking them is a different thing. But
they were all pretty fucking.
I actually thought that was a little bit worse because she's not really doing too much like hand-to-hand fighting. In the first one, when she was like kung fuing fucking Kevin James, who is a giant of a man, that was like, okay, this is getting kind of dumb. In this one, and I'll give you a perfect example, and this is where the tone just doesn't fit. Like there's a scene, well, of course, the dog, which is very effective because, you know, we all grimace when a dog's in danger or being hurt. There's a scene where,
but that's like the whole Becky's thing. They do that every movie.
There's a character, or sorry, you threw me off. There's one point Sean William Scott, it feels like it's getting unusually nasty considering how goofy it is, where he threatens Becky with something that, you know, like certainly would take it into darker exploitation territory. And then then a minute later, it's like you're getting this goofiness where they're just singing this ridiculous like alt-right song on a banjo. It doesn't. It's a good one for dumb movie night with friends, but I do think the stupid got a little bit overwhelming for me on this one. They needed to be nastier villains. Fight for your life. That came up on Real Fit Beatles stream earlier.
There's no way that's if that's what you're expecting going into Becky too. You kind of got it. You got an issue, Dan. You know you're not getting that. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. It needed to settle more on the tone for me.
I get that, but it was fun enough for me. It had good kills.
It did have great kills.
I liked the entire cast both ways. I liked the dumb ones. I liked Stifler. I liked the other one. I mean, the dumb ones. It's funny because what was I saw? Oh, it has one of the guys from Blue Mountain State, and there was another movie I just saw with him too.
Oh yeah, the smarmy guy. I thought he was good. Like the actors are all good. Lulu Wilson is Becky. I think she's good. Sean William Scott. Check out Bloodline.
All three. You like all three feasts, though, don't you?
I think 3 took.
You know what? Let's. I'm gonna pause that one because we are
revisit them.
No, yeah, we are gonna do it. So
we'll see where I fall now.
Yeah,
I do like the feast movies. I just think
we'll invite Chris on for that show.
I'll pause my thoughts on that. But I had some.
We'll bring Chris on for that. He has some strong thoughts.
Yeah, we haven't talked about those in a long time.
I know we keep planning on it. So
yeah, feast, subspecies. We got
all right. Good job, Dan and Toxic Avenger in August. You did.
Oh, did that get a release date finally?
It's had a release date for like ever. It's August 27th.
Oh, okay. I thought.
No,
okay. I didn't think it had one. All right.
No. Sorry, the box set I'm talking about, not the film.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking.
No, I got it as we were going. That would have been more.
So I was like, you would have nutted.
Yeah. Stop talking about semen today, God damn it, Dan.
It's just the theme. I can't help it.
Well, spit it out and let's go.
Fuck you.
Okay, swallow it and let's go.
So this one's just gonna depend. I wish they were nastier.
I think that
alt-right villains.
I think that's what works for me versus the other one. The villains, they're not smart. They're not intimidating. Well, you can argue
they were intimidating.
I was going to say you can.
The first one.
I see. I don't think they were. The fact they didn't go. Their language to like
they were Sean William Scott it has his intimidating moments, but basically the villains were Elmer Fudd in this.
They were, and I think that's like what works. Like the last one, they were just kind of, they weren't, again, they weren't hard enough. They didn't go full Nazi, and I think at least this time with a different group of like, at least they're not like half-assing it. They're see, I know too many of those.
You go back to the original when the wife spits on Kevin James and he doesn't do anything. I was like, you open it with him violently murdering these people. Then it's like all of a sudden it's like, of course he's a fucking monster. He's going to have a very nasty and violent response to that. So I don't know.
And see, in this way, they were just dumb, and it didn't bother me as much as like rewatching Becky. I liked it less. Like I definitely like the second one. I definitely think the second one is way more fun than the first one.
Okay, a lot of people will agree. So I'm curious as more people check this out. It is a somewhat limited release, so I know a lot of you won't necessarily get it, but check your theater. My AMC had it. I actually think a couple of my AMCs.
All of my AMCs by me have it. So
okay, maybe it's more of an AMC thing then.
I don't know if it's exclusive, but it could be because I haven't checked the other ones. And I know Kruger didn't get it in any of the theaters near him, so which is why. But on that,
let's rate it.
Yeah, okay. I was going to bring him back. So
so there is some good to be had here. I'm at 2.5. I wish I could have gone higher.
I had a good time. I'm not like 4 territory, but my enjoyment was. But I'm giving it a 3.5 because I can't remember what I saw. 2 movies the same day, and they kind of were connected a bit. I can't remember what the other one was.
They're talking about John Cena in the chat. Can you imagine in Becky 3 we get Cena as like the the neo-Nazi villain?
What what would you do? You see, I can bring Kruger back for this part. Here, did we rate it? You said 2.5, and I said 3.5.
Okay,
right? Okay, here we go. Kruger, we are all done, but I do have a question.
Yep.
In the first one, we had neo-Nazis. In the second one, we had Caesars. I mean, all right. What would you do for what group would Becky fight in the third one? Would you like to see? Did be good. I know Pug's answer, which is also the same thing he wanted me to wish Dan, but I'm not. I will let that one go since he's not here.
I don't know. Maybe a mafia.
Okay. That would be okay.
I mean, it works with the neo-Nazi thing they had going on.
I don't know. Well, again, the way it ends, I don't know if you break from the tradition now. They probably should.
Becky versus aliens. There you go.
Honest to God, if they keep making them, you'll get to Becky in space taking on aliens.
That was the other one I saw.
AI. There's my answer. I want Becky to fight like an evil like computer.
Chat GPT versus Becky.
You bring back like a cyborg version of Kevin James. Oh,
Cena, KKK leader.
Okay. Oh well, someone wants him to fight the Hat Man. Indy.
Yeah, Becky versus Dan.
Well, you know what? Do that, if I knock her out, I'm gonna just curb stomp her, and that's it.
Well, no, then we're gonna have a problem because it should be all of us versus Becky. So come on.
I'm not fighting Becky. Fuck that shit.
Aren't you just gonna stab Dan and run off? I thought that was the whole plan. I was saying.
I'll team up with Becky. Fucking kill Dan.
I thought he was just gonna stab you so we could all else run away, walk away very slowly.
I'm gonna set like some fucking like Rambo traps. There's no way. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, Kruger.
All right. Well, I love the fucking first Becky. Anytime I get to watch Kevin James powerbomb a 12-year-old, I'm fucking very happy.
See, don't remind me of that. Spine broken.
Your spine's not gonna break on a powerbomb on fucking goddamn green grass.
All right, you couldn't like totally break a 12-year-old's back if you powerbombed her, Kruger.
No.
Yeah, I think you could do it.
I'm pretty sure if you wanted to do harm,
You're
to a
not going to
12-year-old
break somebody's back like that unless you fold them on your fucking neck or some shit.
Well,
dude.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
Okay, but he fucking. Oh my god!
I'm going to
Stop
listen
it.
to.
Took a
I
neck
got you.
bump.
I got you, Kruger. I'm going to listen to the properly trained professional
Yeah.
wrestler and
Talk-
move along.
I
and be
actually
respectful
know what
of
the
his
fucking
sport.
bumps feel like, you
I got
dumbass.
you.
But
Kruger.
you would be trying to hurt her in that scenario, in that real life scenario. So you would fold.
Dan, Kevin James wasn't a pro wrestler. He doesn't know how to do a fucking power bomb.
He has MMA training.
Dan, I hate to ruin it for you, but it probably wasn't even Kevin James doing it.
I understand that.
No, it was 100%.
It still has to make sense.
It turns into Luke Hawx for one move.
Kevin James was $150. All right.
You know what? I missed that when all
This
of a sudden
got angry all of a sudden.
I missed it when your stuntman would all of a
Because
sudden.
you drive me crazy when you talk about shit you don't have experience to. I've been powerbombed the fucking concrete. I'm fine. My back ain't broken.
I know.
I don't know
but
about
they weren't
fine, but your
trying
back
to
ain't
break.
broken.
Yeah, I don't know fine, but yeah, they weren't trying to break your back. He was trying to break her back.
Dan, let it go.
All right. Fine.
I'm gonna break his fucking back.
We
Make him
need-
humble. Old country way with beer bottle.
We need to make that a power bomb happen in Ape versus Mecha Ape 2. I want to see that being the end of it. Just
You know what? If that happens, that movie will get a much better rating than
Godzilla's never power. Well, actually, Kong would have to power.
Godzilla's done scoop slams. He's done drop kicks, but no, never a power.
Oh, damn.
But-
Yeah, the big T brings up a fact. Maybe he does know.
Kevin James went to school
Yeah.
to school with Mick
They were
Foley.
both on the wrestling team, but
There
they
you
didn't
go.
teach power bombs in fucking high school.
High school. I mean,
Well,
they can happen. But
Oh, I'm sure Mick Foley was doing them. He was figuring a way out. But yeah,
you
did.
see Foley fucking grabbing somebody by their singlet, giving them a power.
Okay,
drive
then
in
there
the
we
middle
go.
of the match.
All of a sudden it turns into Foley trying to power bomb. There's you. All right. I'll rearrange.
Horror pack time.
All right, we're going to check out this month's horror pack. We got it just in time today, so we're going to check it out. But first, what are we going to do?
Spread the box for that magic Blu-ray.
All right, Dan, shut up and read.
All right. May Blu-ray pack. Get ready to meet the nanny of your worst nightmares. Okay, there was a film called The Nanny recently. I can't remember who distributed that one, though.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Nanny, your worst nightmares.
The Nanny?
What was I? Oh, fuck. I feel like I know it. Remember that babysitter movie? Not the babysitter, but I think
Ma?
IFC Scream Factory.
Ben just said Ma.
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
say we got that already. We might have. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure you did get it.
She wasn't a nanny though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have in my head like it was a female babysitter, and it was very R-rated. Like it was a little bit more fucked up, but I can't think of the name. We reviewed it.
Hand That Rocks the Cradle or The Guardian. I would kill for Hand That Rocks the Cradle in there.
That would be good. Fran Drescher is pretty terrible. Actually, Fran Drescher's a babe, Chris. Check out Gorp, an early sex comedy she did.
Dr. Detroit.
There you go. She's still hot.
Yeah, she's an attractive lady.
Yeah.
All right. So, clue-wise, I guess we're all kind of tapped on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I bet it's the. I just can't come up with the
Right.
name.
Well, I'll give you the pass if you get it. All right.
All right, where it all began for this devilish dolly. Okay, well that's like 10,000 movies, so I'm not going to even.
Have we
try.
got the original Child's Play in this horror pack yet?
Well,
Annabelle the beginning.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's wait.
Process.
I think we've gotten the
You've
beginning.
gotten at least one.
I think I've gotten all of the Amityville or the.
Well, it's creation,
Annabelle's.
right?
What?
It wasn't it Annabelle. Creation?
I'm pretty sure I've already gotten Creation in here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think
Robert
yeah.
the Doll. There's no Blu-ray, but I'd be happy with that. We yeah, it could be because we don't ever know which the regular one is. We got a couple on Robert the Doll, so
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
getting harder to guess now.
Yeah, I know, and it seems like whoever's doing these new clues doesn't fucking looks. All right, there we go. Okay,
The daughter of the first witch still walks the earth today.
what's the name of the? Anyone out there got a guess on that one?
It's a lot of witchy movies lately.
I know.
The daughter of the first witch. I'm trying to
Who's
think.
who's the first witch? Isn't there like a specific name for it?
Well, you have like the Lilith stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
But that's demon, so it's not really a witch. Yeah, I don't know.
Big T.
I'm useless this time.
Which child was one zombie said? Robert the Doll was the one with the chick from The Walking Dead, right?
I
don't
think
Ooh,
so.
That's the boy too.
Oh yeah. Robert the Doll
which isn't the boy 2 also a prequel? I think you just figured that one out.
Yeah, I think you probably did. That makes sense, and I don't think they've done it. Robert the Doll, though, just for those are very low budget UK horror films. There's like 6 of them now. And what's funny, they follow the same trajectory as Puppet Master. It goes into like World War II. It's funny what they do. They're very. I mean, Full Moon is getting ripped off, like the Full Moon mockbusters.
Why can't we have the noxious? Oh wait, no, the noxious Avenger was in Toxic 4. Whatever. Where's our trauma ripoff? All right. Well, to be fair, like every indie one does it, right?
Yeah.
All right. What's our next clue? Our last clue?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the witch. All right, here we go.
It takes one mother of a ghost to haunt her replacement.
What?
Yeah, again, that kind of fits.
They're being so fucking vague.
Well, I'm assuming, all right, mother maybe haunting the evil stepmother kind of thing. See, there's several films, and I have to kind of think along the lines of what companies
right.
they
Yeah,
use.
I have no.
I always factor that into Universal's a good one. That's why I do think the boy, the chick with the walking. I can't remember who said it, but yeah, the boy too. All right. Well, let's open it and find out.
All right. What's in the box?
All right, we're going to get it all ready. Bag, package, nice. All right. Let's make sure.
You may want to make yourself big for this.
Yes. All right. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm making myself big for you.
Oh. Oh.
All right.
That was a Dan joke, sir.
It totally was. I'll cut it. All right. Our first one of the evening.
The Turn. Oh, that movie is a piece of shit.
See, I liked it. I think Bugs was. Did you hate it too, Dan?
Oh, that movie's a fucking piece of crap, Todd.
See,
I think you might be remembering wrong.
Well, no. The Lodge is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh,
that's the one
like
Bug hates
a lot,
and we liked.
Yeah, I don't get him hating the Lodge.
Okay,
Lodge
but yeah, you're right. This is
Yeah, that movie's a piece of garbage.
It's a shit pickle.
All right, here's our second one. Oh, I see what that is. Well, I guess we didn't get Creation yet.
Yeah, there you go.
I know I got Comes Home, so now they're sending it to me out of order.
Wait, is it
Annabelle Creation?
It's Creation.
Yeah, that's what
there
I said.
is no Annabelle the beginning. It's Creation.
No, I know that. I didn't say Annabelle the beginning. I said I guess it was right.
Okay.
Yeah,
you got
the fucking
Come Homes.
Yeah,
I got the first and the third one, so I just assumed we'd already got the second one.
Creation is the only really good one. It's a really
I like the first one over Creation.
I like the third one, so we all know that. All right, here we go. Okay, wait. So that's the doll one. So I guess we got. Well, someone got that one right.
Yeah, I was right.
Okay,
that's the one I said. That's what I said.
Let's go. Yes, that's it. All right. Yes, 100%. That's what I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't come up with the name. It's a really good.
The babysitter's here, like Thriller.
It's a good performance from that actress. I don't know if you remember it. I mean, because we probably did it. Like,
No, I don't remember this one, but I'm interested. Yeah,
it's
more thriller.
little, yeah, kind of psychological. She's really, really good in that movie.
Okay, so let's before we go to the last one, so let's see which ones we've done so far. The Nanny, okay, we got that one.
Yeah.
The doll one, we got that one. The Daughter of the First Witch. Okay, so we got that one. So the Daughter of the First Witch still stalks the earth today. That's the one that's the exclusive.
Yeah, which you can't really guess the exclusive.
Well, I know. I'll just do it one more time. All right, what is it? Prosper.
Okay.
The
New
fuck
movie.
Is that?
The Last Witch of Salem feasts tonight.
I mean, it sounds up my alley. I like a good witch flick, especially Salem based.
The rumored daughter of Sarah Good, the first witch to be tried and hung during the Salem witch trials, lives and commands the spirit world at her fingertips. Well, there's the short version. All right. Well, it's a long ass description, so I just gave you the first.
Yeah, I've never heard of that movie, but
yeah, I don't know.
all right.
All right. So there we go. One more time, real quick. This month's horror pack is The Turning,
The Shit Pickle,
Annabelle,
best of the series.
second best of the series,
You'll enjoy that. That'll stay on your shelf.
and Prosper. Well, two of those. Two of them already on there.
I don't know if it's old enough that I would have reviewed it with Melissa. It's possible you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't remember it. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, there we go on those.
All right.
So,
What's up? So that's a solid pack. If you don't, I mean, aside from The Turning, although I look at it as you don't have to spend money for it if you just wanted it in your collection for some reason. Yeah, I think the original sounds good. So that's all we have for you tonight. A quick reminder, though, we did drop our review of Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund documentary, which is up on the channel now. You can listen to that.
And tomorrow, the Trauma Show.
Okay. Yes.
I've been trying to hit him on the 31st every month, but obviously today's a Wednesday, so we'll drop it tomorrow.
All right.
And which trauma films are we talking, Dan?
We are talking Killer Condom and Angel Negro.
All right. Sweet.
So there you go.
Do you want to tease our next erotic thriller show coming up?
Yes. I'm trying to remember what it is. Todd, help me out.
Bedroom Eyes 1 and 2.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we had something else already recorded. So.
No.
Yes. Bedroom Eyes 1 and 2. Linda Blair being naughty. So yes, we'll have that. Also, guys, don't forget.
Be spitting more than pea soup.
Well, yeah,
Jesus
magic.
We had a theme tonight.
Yeah.
If we had a post show, it'd be the Jizz Show.
Right.
Which we'll do a post show next week. We went a little long tonight.
Yeah, we will have one for you guys. Also, June 13th, we are going to have the second episode of season 3 of Region Free. So be sure to sub to the new Region Free channel if you have not. That'll be a lot of fun. And remember, your hate comment, well, not hate, they can be love comments too, on the previous month's video will be read on air. Within reason, as long as we can say whatever awful thing.
So don't tell Pugs to go comment?
Definitely don't. Definitely don't comment, Pugs. But yes, so make your voices heard. Go comment the last video, and Region Free, of course, is the 13th of every month. So wherever the 13th falls, there you go. What else? I feel like there's something else I had to promote. Yes, Squared Circle Society will be back. We will be covering every episode of Dark Side of the Ring on Sunday. Which that is how I'm ending my evening. I'm going to be watching the Sunny episode. I
already watched it.
I'm hoping.
Can't say a word. You're hoping for the hot dog reenactment?
I am hoping that we see a Todd reenactor where Sonny cuts in front of him.
Don't spoil it. No, you're not allowed. We already said we're
okay.
going to tell the story on the goddamn show.
All
and first
right,
and second of all, Dan, that's not your goddamn story to tell. It's mine, you motherfucker.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Telling
I
stole
other people's
the hot dog
stories. Story. All
Telling
right.
other people's
It's not your
stories and trying
story.
to steal other people's
So,
gimmicks.
Todd, do you think we can bring on anybody that was maybe intimate with Sonny, which I know is a lot of people?
You could have went with no, and I might be able to accomplish that. But now I can't. I feel awkward asking anyone because you just said that.
Well, I didn't say who.
Yeah, but anyone I ask is to think they beg Sonny.
Tune in Sunday where Dolph Ziggler will be on Squared Circle Society. I'll be honest, I bet you a lot of vodka.
Hey, Todd, I bet you Craig said it.
I wasn't going to say the other one because we're still on it.
I'm just saying. I bet you Craig said it.
I could. Yeah, the other one I can't say the shoot name because it's still the same.
Bitch, are you for real? All right.
All right, we should get out of here.
Can we just call him right now on air and ask? He's thinking about it, but that's enough.
No. I literally grabbed my phone and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
All right, so that episode is gonna be can't miss and highlight.
I got actually, I'm gonna have more than I thought I was gonna say about that episode.
I haven't watched it. I'm really excited. That and
I figured you would. I've already watched that American Gladiators Part 1.
Where the fuck do you watch that shit, anyways?
Which one?
The Dark Side.
Oh, it's on Vice TV.
Vice.
I'll teach you how to stream. You can stream it with.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me.
You didn't review them with us last time. I know.
I did, but I think I watched them on fucking YouTube or some shit.
They used to pop up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in the American Gladiators doc tonight, or part 1 of it, anyways.
Well, part 2 is coming tonight too.
Sweet, sweet. All right, guys, that's all we have for you. Thanks for hanging out and being a really awesome chat. And yeah, Big T, I think we will be talking queefs as well next SCS. On that note, we are the classiest podcast on YouTube. We love you.
I love it now that Dan knows we're not like stressing over monetization. He's just talking about his cum on episodes.
Cum wouldn't demonetize you.
Your cum would.
All right.
Kruger, just get us out of here.
Good night.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Oh, and before I forget, Pugs told me to wish you a happy